we're diving into something that has completely taken over social media recently. Tisha and Marsau's latest Christmas picture. Now, if you've been scrolling online, you've probably seen it. And if you haven't, oh, you are in for a treat. This one is full of drama, laughs, and a whole lot of construction zone energy. Yes, you heard that right, construction zone energy. Now, if you're expecting the typical matching pajamas, cozy family vibes with hot cocoa and twinkling lights, that's not what the Scotts decided to do this year. Instead, they went full-on, posing in front of their not-yet-finished dream home. Yup, the house is still under construction, but that didn't stop them from getting their Christmas photos. And let me tell you, it's giving both holiday charm and absolute chaos. So here's the setup. Imagine a giant, unfinished, under-construction house. This is not your standard two-bedroom suburban home. We're talking a massive 16,000 square foot, 40-foot-tall structure carved into the side of a limestone mountain. They have a 1,000-foot driveway, 71 tons of steel, and every inch of this build has been painstakingly crafted over years. And in the middle of all that, there's the family, all dressed up, standing in front of the house, trying to look festive and cheerful. The kids? Oh, the kids are in full survival mode. One little one in bright red is literally trying not to tumble over because the house is still under construction, and yet they're smiling, posing, and holding it down like true pros. Honestly, if this isn't giving you a combination of holiday spirit and adventure reality TV, I don't know what is. Now, let's talk about the caption, because Tisha really went all out with the heartwarming vibes. She wrote, "Merry Christmas, celebrating family and the progress of Scott Manor, building our dream home while showing that building your future takes patience, faith, and grace. Dream big and enjoy the journey. Love on your family and kids, they grow up fast." And I have to pause here, because honestly, that is true. Kids do grow up fast. And sometimes the process, the messy, chaotic, unfinished process, is just as important as the final picture-perfect result. And that's exactly what Tisha and Marsau are showing here. They aren't just showing off a finished mansion, they're showing the reality of building something monumental from scratch and sharing the journey with their kids. Of course, as soon as this post went live, the comment section erupted. People online started asking questions like, how long does it take to build a house? And making all sorts of comparisons to other custom homes. And honey, Marsau was not about to stay silent. He went into the comment section like a one-man army, responding to literally every person who had an opinion. And his responses? Absolutely unfiltered. He starts breaking it down, telling people exactly what it takes to build a home like this. He's talking 16,000 square feet, limestone mountains, massive driveways, and 71 tons of steel. And his point? Building your dream isn't easy. It's not something you just snap your fingers and achieve. And he's living proof, because he's doing it while raising a family, filming a TV show, and managing social media. Essentially, he told everyone, you can have opinions, but you haven't built a thing here. You don't know what this takes. And the best part? Marsau wasn't just giving one-liners or sarcastic replies. No, he went full-on philosophical about it. One comment asked why they did the Christmas photos in the unfinished house, and Marsau replied simply, because we are able. Period. Full stop. And then he went on to explain his entire mindset. I ain't never presented myself as an expert. I presented myself as a man who believes in himself and will figure it out for my wife and kids. I make mistakes, I fail forward, but I keep pressing on. This is my first house and I'm proud of it. Can we just take a moment to appreciate that energy? That's not just defending yourself online. That's a masterclass in unapologetic confidence and showing up for your family and your dreams. Of course, not all the comments were serious. Some people were straight up funny. Someone said, only the kids are smiling, and others were joking that the photos looked like Halloween pictures instead of Christmas. And Marsau, being the firecracker he is, even replied with, Happy Halloween. I mean, that's savage, but hilarious. It's obvious that Marsau enjoys engaging with people online, and he's not afraid to clap back, educate, or just have a little fun with it. He's literally out here turning his comment section into an extension of his personality, direct, witty, and unbothered by social media criticism. And if we really break it down, Marsau's comments give a window into his philosophy on life and family. He talks about building more than a house. He's building a legacy, a family, and teaching his kids how to approach life with passion and resilience. He says, "We are building children who see the process, love the passion, and will approach life with a sense of unfuckability because they watched their parents build their dreams with faith and hard work." That right there is the whole point. The house, the Christmas photos, the social media chaos is all secondary to the message he's trying to impart. And the best part, he does it while still having a sense of humor and standing his ground. However, picture this. The family is standing outside their incomplete mansion, trying to take a Christmas photo. The house is far from done. There's exposed lumber, construction equipment in the background, and scaffolding everywhere. And the kids? Oh, the kids are giving us survival mode energy. The little one in red is literally trying not to fall over because the floor isn't stable, and it's clear the space is still under construction. But they're smiling, posing, and somehow making it work. You can see the care in Tisha and Marcelo's planning here. They wanted to document this moment in a unique, authentic way. And honestly, it's one of those situations where you just have to sit back and appreciate the audacity of it. Only the Scotts could pull off a holiday photo like this and make it work, even in the middle of chaos. And then there's the caption, which is classic Tisha energy. She wrote, "Merry Christmas, celebrating family and the progress of Scott Manor, building our dream home while showing that building your future takes patience, faith, and grace. Dream big and enjoy the journey. Love on your family and kids, they grow up so fast." And let's pause here for a second, because that line about kids growing up fast, that is 100% true. Those little moments, the messy, chaotic, imperfect moments, are exactly what we should be cherishing. And that's the beauty of this post. It's not about perfection. It's about process, family, and legacy. It's about showing your kids that building something great takes effort, time, and resilience. And I think that's a lesson a lot of us could use right now. Of course, the internet being the internet, people immediately had opinions. Someone asked, "How long does it take to build a house?" Another said, "Custom homes can take years." And that's when Marcelo entered the comment section like a whirlwind. He is not here to play around. Marcelo started responding to everyone, defending his family, the house, and the process behind it. And trust me, he didn't hold back. He wasn't just answering questions with polite one-liners. No, Marcelo went full on, giving detailed explanations of exactly what it takes to build a home like this, including the fact that they've been working on it for years. And honey, he made it very clear that building your dream is not something that happens overnight, and definitely not something you can fully appreciate unless you've lived the grind yourself. In one of his comments, Marcelo said, "Especially when it's a 40-story tall, 16,000 square foot structure carved into the side of a limestone mountain on 10 acres, up a 240-foot elevation with a 1,000-foot driveway that's 26 feet wide and 71 tons of steel. We're developing and building it ourselves while living our lives, building our dreams, building our family, and building the kind of kids that see the process, love the passion, and will approach life with a sense of unfuckability because they watched their parents build their dreams with faith and hard work." And just reading that, you can feel the fire in his words. Marcelo isn't just defending a house or a Christmas photo. He's defending the philosophy of hard work, dedication, and leading by example. He's teaching his kids to appreciate the process, to see the value in struggle and persistence, and to understand that achieving something monumental doesn't come easy. And then it gets even better. Someone commented, I ain't never presented myself as an expert. I presented myself as a man who believes in himself and will figure it out for my wife and kids. And Marcelo's response? Legendary. He said, I make mistakes, I fail forward, and I may not be an expert yet, but I bet on myself. This is the first house I've built, and I'm proud as F about it. My challenge to you is to repeat what I just said about yourself. I mean, can we take a moment to appreciate that energy? Marcelo isn't here to argue with critics. He's here to inspire. He's saying, I am human, I am flawed, I am learning, but I am building and I am proud. That is next level realness right there.
And of course, not all the comments were serious. Some were hilarious. People were joking about the kids, saying only they were smiling, and even comparing the photo to Halloween instead of Christmas. And Marsau, without missing a beat, he responded, Happy Halloween. Classic. And then someone asked, where are the hard hats? And Marsau clapped back, hats are to prevent from falling objects, not costumes. Honestly, watching Marsau go through the comments is like watching a masterclass in social media engagement. He's witty, direct, and completely unbothered by negativity. And you can tell he's fully invested in standing on business. He's not letting anyone disrespect his family, his process, or his vision. And what's really wild is how invested he gets. People ask questions like, wait, is this the same dream house? It's been a few years. Or criticize the photos as tacky. And again, Marsau is unbothered. He responded, Happy Halloween, and left it at that. When asked, whose idea was this? Marsau proudly said, ours. You can see the pride in taking ownership of the creative decisions, even when they're unconventional. And that's exactly what makes him so engaging online. He isn't just responding, he's educating, entertaining, and standing his ground. And honestly, watching that unfold is as much fun as watching the show itself. Some fans even tried to defend him, saying it's a play on the family business, not just the house itself. And Marcel's response? Straight facts. Why would my dreams need to be defended from people who don't understand? We're documenting the process. We love every effing nail and timber. If you don't believe your eyes, why would you believe your ears? Boom. Absolute mic drop. And that's the thing. Marsau is showing us that criticism is often just noise. You can't let the opinions of outsiders diminish the value of your hard work, especially when they haven't lifted a finger themselves. When you really look at this whole situation, it's not just about a Christmas photo. It's about documenting life, building your legacy, and showing your kids that the journey matters just as much as the destination. Marsau isn't out here just defending a house. He's teaching resilience, pride in labor, and authenticity. And that is something that social media often misses. In a world obsessed with perfection, he's reminding us that there's beauty in the messy, unfinished, authentic process. And let's be honest, that's far more inspiring than a perfectly staged holiday photo ever could be. Now, let's be real, this whole scenario is a mix of chaos, comedy, and family goals. The photos themselves are unconventional. They're not your traditional, perfectly staged Christmas card shots. The house is incomplete, the kids are balancing on uneven ground, and yet it works. There's authenticity in it. You can tell this is a real family living their dream and documenting the journey, not just showing a curated highlight reel of perfection. And that's honestly refreshing in a world full of overly polished social media posts. And the comments kept coming. Someone tried to defend them, saying it's a play on the family business and not so much the house itself. And Marsau's response? Straight facts. Why would my dreams need to be defended from people who don't understand? We're documenting the process. We love every effing nail and timber. If you don't believe your eyes, why would you believe your ears? Boom. Absolute mic drop. And that's the thing. Marsau is showing us that criticism is often just noise. You can't let the opinions of outsiders diminish the value of your hard work, especially when they haven't lifted a finger themselves. At the end of the day, Tisha and Marsau's Christmas picture and the ensuing social media storm shows us a few things. 1. Building a dream, whether it's a house, a career, or a family, takes patience, faith, and a ton of work. 2, it's okay to be unapologetically yourself online, even if people have opinions. And 3, sometimes the process is just as important, if not more, than the final result. And Marsau's energy in the comments? Chef's kiss. Absolutely chef's kiss. He's standing on business, defending his family, defending his process, and doing it with humor and a bit of fire. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? If you're building your dream, document the process, embrace the chaos, laugh at the haters, educate when you can, and never be afraid to show up for your family and your vision. And if you're on social media, just know sometimes people are going to respond like Marsau, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, you're building more than just a house. You're building a life, a legacy, and memories that will last forever. So that's it, everyone. That was our deep dive into Tisha and Marsau's Christmas photos, the unfinished Scott Manor, and the absolute social media chaos that followed. If you enjoyed this breakdown, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments. Would you dare to take a Christmas photo in a construction zone? I want to hear your thoughts, because this one was definitely a bold move, and I love it for them.